Merhaba değerli arkadaşlar, ben Utku. Kanalıma hoş geldiniz. Vampyr'a kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Şuradan aşağı inelim, hiç dolanmayalım. Şey yapalım arkadaşlar. Şurada vatandaş menüsü de yerel soruşturmalar var. Bu soruşturmaları da yapmamız gerekiyor. Şu soruşturmayı açtık hastanedeki doktorlarla konuşarak bir önceki bölümlerde hatırlarsanız. Şimdi şuradan başlayalım. İş sürme. Tamam. Bu arada arkadaşlar bugün yepyeni bir haber aldım. Bilmem biliyor musunuz? Masquerade diye okunuyor sanırım. The Vampyr Bloodlines'ın ikinci oyunu duyuruldu Paradox tarafından ve şu an Steam'de satışta 90 lira gibi bir fiyatı var. Yani eğer ilgileniyorsanız kaçırmayın derim. Çünkü uyanırlarsa Metro Exodus'ta olduğu gibi fiyat birden fahiş ölçülere, fahiş fiyatlara yükselebilir, çıkabilir. Aha. Bir dakika ya, şu palanın yerine şu envanterlerim kullanılmış pala 45 hasar 110 hasar ama saldırısı hızı düşük. Şu kemik testeresi iyi, bunu alalım. Doktor aletleriyle saldırıyoruz. Vampyr bu arada yani Bloodlines olan Vampyr 2004'te çıkmıştı yanılmıyorsam arkadaşlar. Çıktıktan sonra yapımcı firma battı. Zarar etti. Oyunu Half-Life 2 ile aynı anda çıkarma gafletine düştüler. Ondan dolayı pek istedikleri satış rakamlarına erişemediler. Bu yüzden Troika yapımcı firması battı. Oyun da bug'lı bir halde kaldı. Tabii sonra community patch'lerle falan düzelttiler ama şu an Steam mağazasında satılıyor. İlk oyunda alıp oynamanızı tavsiye ederim. Tabii ki RPG oyunlarından hoşlanıyorsanız. HR Griffin diyor. Boss'muş lan. Birader gitsene ya. Lan oğlum, abi yapma. Biraz can basalım ya. Lan canını doldurdu benden. Vay anasını. Silah da bir işe yaramıyor. Arkadaş yakalarsa kalbinizi kırıyor. Yardım edin lan. Adamı da kestim. Bana değil abi, bana değil. Lan bana değil, bana. Hayret bir şey ya. Ben buradan kaçıyorum abi. O ne lan? Teşekkür ederim. Sağ olsunlar, yine de biraz yardımları dokundu. Şuradaki eczaneye gitmemiz gerekiyor. Doktor Strickland'ın listesi.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Hastaneye geri gitmemiz gerekiyor. Şuradan akalım abi. Sivil yemeyeceğim abi. İyi sonra bitirmeye çalışacağım bunu. Dur lan bir dakika.
Good evening, sir. I'm
Dr. Reid.
And you are?
Newton Blythe.
Why do you stay here?
It's complicated. Since the war...
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one.
Newton
You are
Blythe.
always welcome at the Pembroke Hospital. As a former officer, I'll be honored to welcome a fellow veteran.
I'm not giving up on bringing Oswald back to the hospital. I just need to convince him that he needs some help.
Perhaps he needs to reach that decision by himself.
Could you speak to him? He doesn't usually listen to doctors, but perhaps because you've been through it, you can talk him round.
Bana savaştan bahset dostum.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... Well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
Ben de Fransa'da
I
savaştım
fought in
kardeş.
France too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
Oswald'ı önceden tanır mıydın?
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we're in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears.
Adam sıçanlar yemeye başlamış ya. Cephede.
Couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight.
Bye.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more...
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any...
Tippett değil. Toro'ya gitmemiz gerekli.
Goodbye, Doc.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Heh bu.
I'm quite busy right now, Doctor.
Bu değil ya. Buna ben
Tell me,
bir
Waverly,
şey açılmış bunda da.
what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Thank you for your time.
Teşekkür ederiz. Şu bizim doktor nerede ya? Hah burada, evet.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid. Can I be of any help?
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
Kamera açısı ne biçim ya? Adamın sırtına bakıyoruz abi.
I already ran some
Ha,
tests.
ha,
on
ha
hopeless
değiştirebiliyormuşuz
cases.
lan.
Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reid? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reid. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reid. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reid. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
You
Senden
have
desteği
my
esirgemeyeceğim.
support, Dr. Strickland.
Sevdim seni
I know
Strickland.
exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reid. You don't know what that means to me.
Goodbye.
Görüşmek üzere.
I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo.
Bunlar bende yok mu ya? Eksik malzemeler. Masamıza gidelim bakalım. Sanki bende vardı bunlar ya. Bir dakika şu göreve bakalım. İlaç ne abi? Hangi ilacı yapacağız? Sodyum hipoklorit, potasyum permanganat, demir tartanatı. Neyse bu görevi beklesin bakalım. Malzemeleri toplayınca geliriz. Yeterli şeyimiz yok. Şimdi şu diğer göreve gidelim. Diğer soruşturmayı yapalım. Gereken malzemeler yok şu an bende. Ölüm sebebini öğren. Yol boyunca toplarız onda. Hastanenin arkasına gideceğiz şimdi. Şuralarda falan oluyor genelde ama. Kaç bölümdür hastanedeyiz abi ya. Morga gideceğiz herhalde. Buradaki yaratıkları kestik abi. Hala bana burada yaratık var demeyin. Potasyum permanganat. Al işte. Kana ihtiyacım var. Aha! Bu nereden geldi lan? Bunu da yemelim. Her yer yaratık dolu burada da ya. Gel birader. İkiniz gelmeyin, tek gelin. Lan şey ne biçim kamera ya. Ah! Eyvah, eyvah, eyvah, eyvah. Şunu bir keseyim, senden görüşeceğim. Hah. Dellendi ha. İyi ya. İyi bari ölmeden hallettik bunları. Dur şuraya alalım da.
It's locked.
Kilitli mi?
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he
Doktor Tippett basmış anesteziyi öldürmüş adamı
Tippett
ya.
has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's
Niye
locked.
kilitli ya? Bu niye kilitli abi? Doktor Tippett'la konuşmamız lazım. Corcoran Tippett. Şuraya da bakalım gelmişken. Arkadan çıktık. Şunları lootlayalım abi.
I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Good evening.
And good evening to you.
Goodbye, Doc.
Tippett'i bulmam lazım. Tippett. Nerede bu Tippett? Bu değil.
You always knew the words to calm the children. As for me,
Dışarıda mı ya Tippett?
I'm an idiot.
Ya hangisi Tippett hangisi şey kafam karıştı ya. Şu dışarıdaki doktor Tippett'ti herhalde. Hemşire de yanında zaten.
Wish I could say the same for the others.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
Kişisel sorular.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Kimdi o?
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks. Maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No
Arkada
one
kadran
gave
oluyor
me
ya
one.
öyle.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Ya şu ablayı biri çıkarsın oradan ya. Dikkatimi
Why not
dağıtıyor.
stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Goodbye, Doc.
Şimdi hemşireyle konuşalım. Şurayı lootlayalım.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippets did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippets would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reid. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippets in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippets.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippets. Shall we say, misdemeanor?
Doktor
I'm
Tippets,
so
hadi
glad
yırttın
you share
bakayım
my
bu sefer.
point of view. Dr. Tippets is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippets must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you've found out.
100 şilin paramızı da aldık.
Goodbye.
Soruşturma başarılı. Şu diğer soruşturmaya bakalım. Bunda hala sodyum hipoklorit masana getirip. Abi 50 tane var bende ya. Thelma'yı kimin gözetlediğini bul. Bulalım bakalım. Thelma'yı kim gözetliyormuş? Odama
It's
geldim.
locked, all right.
Yan tarafta. Gelmişken masamıza da bir uğrayalım. Şu kemik testeresini geliştirelim ya. Ama sıradan tutacak parçam yok abi. Şu kazığı geliştirebiliyordum, evet. Ama şimdi buna da boşu boşuna şey harcamayalım. Testereyi geliştirmek daha mantıklı. Hop. Thelma'yı kimin gözetlediğini bul. Ah, giriş burada. İşte orada bir eleman var. Lan! Of, kaçamadım. Araştırma görevi. Doğuya kas devriyeleri. Gönderen Priven muhafızı karargahı. Görev vampir aktivitesi. Hastane araştır, tahkikat yap. 3 gün önce yeni adamlarımızdan birisi Pembroke Hastanesi'nde kadın bir vampirin saklandığına dair duyum almış. Londra Doğu yakası. Tek bildiğimiz şey ilk isminin Thelma olduğu. Göreviniz oraya gizlice giderek bahsi geçen sülükle ilgili şüpheleri, hareketleri gözlemlemek ve bize rapor vermek. Daha sonra biz de bu konuda ne yapılması gerektiğine karar vereceğiz. Bizim Thelma'nın şeyini gerçek sanmışlar. Tabi böyle her yerde ben vampirim dersen adam böyle peşine vampir avcısı takarlar. Priven muhafızlarının komuta merkezini bul. Bulalım abi. Gidelim basalım komuta merkezine. Sokağa çıkma yasağı var. Bu semtte durumlar ciddiymiş. Oo, seviye 18. Bunu biz yiyemeyiz. Kaç. Kaç abi.
Get them weapons ready!
Staminam da olsun da biraz. Oo. Gel bakalım buraya pehlivan. Şu üst katta bir yerde bunların şeyi. Mekanı da girişi nerede abi? Whitechapel'e getirdi beni.
More and more. Best stay back, sir.
Semt durumu ciddi. Buralarda işler büyük. İşler sıkıntılı buralarda. Abi bir şeyi bulamadık ya. Adamların karargahını. Dur bakalım, iyice bakalım şu haritaya. Tamam.
Stop right now!
Fare yakala. Kana ihtiyacım var. Evet, sığınak bulduk bir tane. Masamızda yapacak bir şey yok. Şunları geri dönüştürelim. Şunu geliştirebilir miyiz acaba? Evet. Güzel oldu. Ha, ikisinden birini alabiliyormuşuz. Aslında şu diğeri daha iyi. Kan puanı veriyor ama hasarı artıralım. Şu kazığa bakalım. Kazığı da geliştirelim. Tamam. Güzel oldu burayı bulmamız. İşte adamların karargahını da bulduk. Çekil bakalım Tafkay. Önce şunu halledelim de.
The leech boys!
Oha! Lan! Adam ciğerimi söktü. Sen kaçındın Tafkay. Ememedim adamı ya. İkisi bir fena sıkıştırdı abi. Kan lazım bana, kan. Şuralara bakalım da. Yok bir şey yok buralarda. Oo, seviye 16. Bunlar bizi yer. Aha, kaçamıyoruz da lan. Eyvah. Eyvah. Eyvah abi. Kapı da açılmıyor. Aa. Neyse, oraya şu an gücümüz yetmiyor. Şeye gidelim. Ana göreve gidelim. Bunlar geri mi doğmuş lan? Abi. Ya şu mouse beni deli ediyor ya. Hedef değiştiriyor. Ya değiştirme şu hedefi ya. Öldür abi, öldür. Öldür hadi, öldür. Oh be. Keşke normalde başlamasaydık ya. Lan loot yapacağım. Loot, oraya ne ışınlanıyor? Ha. Fare mare yok mu? Kan iğnesi yapalım bari. Gel abi. Gel bakalım buraya. Adam hayvan ya. Staminam da hemen bitiyor ya. Oh be. Kedi sesi mi geliyor? Kedimi yavlıyor da göremedim.
This neighborhood is linked somehow
Bölgede yeni bir sığınak mevcut.
to the kind Lady Ashbury's
Gidip şu
black.
sığınağı aktifleştirelim.
First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Oyun aynı zamanda The Order 1886'ya da benziyor.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Aha, adamı vurdu lan.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Bunu tedavi
You
edebilir
mean
miyiz
you used
acaba?
to have a better life.
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go. No family that would welcome you.
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me.
Belki adama yardım edebiliriz ya.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. It's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Belki bunu tedavi edebilecek bir ilacımız vardır. Migren. Adamda migren var ama bende şu an migren ilacı yok.
A gun?
Bir migren ilacı yapabiliyorsak buna bir migren ilacı yapalım. Tabi bunu geri bulabilirsek. Şurada bir sığınak var. Sığınağı aktifleştirelim. Nereye girdim ya? Sığınağı arıyordum ama. Evet, sığınakmış bura. Hiç sığınağa da benzemiyor abi. Migren ilacı üretelim mi şuna ya? Ama şu an ben migren ilacı üretmeyi bilmiyorum. Güzel. Şunlardan üretelim, elimizin altında bulunsun abi. Üzgünüm, şu an migren tedavisi için yapabileceğim bir şey yok. Aha, kimin? İçeride biri var. Ha, şu haydutlar. Ha, fare. Şunu da yiyeceğim. İyi, karnımızı biraz doldurduk. Whitechapel'e geldik.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
Kopartma bizi Darius.
This medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Neler çeviriyor bu adam? Bronş hastalığı varmış. Bunu tedavi edelim ya. Vay Dorothy. Demek buradasın.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Konuşalım bakalım. Gazeteci ve Darby ile görüşmeliyiz. Bu da şey herhalde.
Welcome, sir.
I am Doctor.
Doctor?
Doktor tabii ya. Kişisel sorular. Londra'daki hayatın. İşler nasıl kardeş?
Business around here. I see.
Geçelim bu işler nasıl olayına. Sıra dışı bir şey fark ettin mi?
You see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Şiddet artıyor mu?
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Demek öyle ha.
Right then.
Mallarına bakalım ne var ne yok. Clayton kim acaba?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Have you any friends?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent...
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer,
Sürekli yan görev açılıyor, yan soruşturma açılıyor.
fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Kafayı kırmış bu dayı da ya. Geri.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Sadece gerçek Dur ya, dinliyorum. Adamı
I
kestirip atmıyorum.
suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Plan nedir peki?
And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Bu şehri gerçekten nasıl temizleyeceksin dayı?
What exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Peki ya sınırların nedir?
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous.
Kafayı yemiş
You're
ya.
nothing but a soulless
Şehri yakalım diyor, milleti yakalım diyor ya.
small-time Torquemada, the Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you...
All
Quite a...
Bunu konuştuk zaten.
I am. But the answers I see... Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country.
Komünist nereden gelmiş ki?
That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Dorothy Crane, komünistmiş Dorothy
So
Crane.
you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary...
Dayı saçmalıklarını vallahi kesmen lazım. Senin acilen bu kafayla çok yaşamazsın ya.
I have had...
Görüşmek üzere. Yeterince kafamı açtın zaten. Clayton nerede Clayton? Clayton şu olabilir mi? Bunda bir Clayton tipi var sanki.
Excuse me,
Evet.
sir. Are you familiar with this
Clayton tipi vardı bu adamda. Bildik vallahi.
Reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
Bu adam birine benziyor. Bir oyuncuya benziyor bu adam ya.
You could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reid.
Dr. Reid, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Direkt şundan
I
başlayalım.
heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a
Aferin.
doubt, you
Aferin.
are a
Nereden
damn
bildin?
fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Arabası yok mu?
He has
Akrabası
no
yok muymuş?
relatives to
Araba ne
know.
ya?
Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Hiç dışarı çıkmıyor mu?
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Vay vay vay. Yorgunluk varmış bunda. Buna bir şimdi vermeyelim. Hiç kimseyi yemeden bitireceğim arkadaşlar bu oyunu. Yani bu iyi insanlardan hiç kimseyi yemeyeceğim. Kavgada yiyebilirim yani, orada yemem lazım, kan toplamam lazım. Ama böyle adamlara yemeyeceğim. İyi bitirmeye çalışacağım oyunu. İyi sonunu görmeye çalışacağım.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Bu suç ama kardeş, herkes yani iyi şeyleri, yani her şeyin ne olup bittiğini, herkes ne olup bittiğini bilmek zorunda. Böyle sansür koyarsanız basına olmaz yani.
But just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Peki halk bununla ilgileniyor mu?
But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Goodbye.
Görüşmek üzere Bay Darby. Şimdi şu diğer şeyi bulmamız lazım. Richard Nittercott. Richard. Seviye 10. Aha. Oo. Yancılar da geldi. Kaçamıyorum ha. Of. Abi bırak. Gel bakalım buraya. Evde kal, dışarı çıkma, ortalık kötü, grip salgını var diye yazmışlar. Bir dakika, Richard'ı bölgede bul. Richard bence şu. Bunda bir Richard tipi var zaten. Selamünaleyküm.
Good evening, sir.
Jonathan.
I'm Dr. Reid.
Jonathan biziz.
I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest.
Evet, Richard'ı bulduk.
Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part
Bu da
of town,
muhabir.
My words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nithercott, at your service.
Londra'daki hayatından bahset bakalım biraz Richard.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Salgından korkmuyor
Are you
musun?
not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I?
I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Fazla dikkat çekiyorsun. Yapma.
But as a physician in a time of epidemic,
Goradaki gibi.
I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Eşsiz bir bakış açısı vallahi.
The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your
riskli bir
need
şey
for
ama bu.
solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
Ben mi?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who
Camellia mı?
exhales kindness and sweetness.
Camellia.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant...
Çok konuştun ya. Geri.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Darius Petrescu komünist çıktı ya.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
I'll leave you.
Bir dakika ya.
Good evening.
Yok, tamam. Görüşmek üzere Richard. Yayıncı red mektubu. Nerede lan o yayıncı red mektubu? Hah. Richard'la ilgili yeni bir ipucu açtık.
Good evening, Mr. Niven.
And good evening.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Perhaps it's time to think about something more useful to do. I'm not sure that poets are what London needs at this moment in time.
Men and women need food for certain, a roof and safety, but how narrow is the mind of one who believes art is not as essential. Goodbye for now, sir.
Başarısız olduk.
I'll leave.
Bence daha fazla ilerlemeden burada checkbook et içerisinde ücretsiz tabii kupon yerleştirilmiş. Bence daha fazla uzatmadan burada bu bölümü sonlandıralım arkadaşlar. Çünkü 1 saati aştık yine. Oyun maşallah sürekli diyalog üzerinden gittiği için 1 saati aşıyoruz ister istemez. Bu bölümü burada sonlandırıyorum arkadaşlar. İzlediğiniz için çok teşekkür ederim. Videomu beğendiyseniz like atmayı unutmayın. Kanalıma abone olmayı unutmayın. Ve videolarımın linkini ve kanalımı paylaşmayı unutmayın. Çok teşekkür ederim. Diğer bölümde görüşmek üzere. Kendinize çok iyi bakın.